On the 15th of April, I was able to give Dawn Louise her first bath, and it was so wonderful. It's not quite how you imagine giving your first ever baby a bath. She had a little plastic tub that wasn't even ours. It belonged to the hospital and placed on the desk of the nurses station, which was sort of in between the high care area of the ward and the nursery area of the ward, so everybody could see my daughter getting bathed, and it was not quite how I imagined doing it. Just at peace, and that was all I could really ask for back then, because you saw them cry so much and in so much pain. On the 17th of April, I was able to put Dawn Louise in her first ever proper dress, and she looked so cute, and it's still one of my favourite photos even today. I waited so long to just be able to dress her, because obviously having surgeries and everything, all she could be in was, at the most, she could be in a nappy and a vest with a blanket, but most of the time it was just a nappy and a blanket. On the 30th of April, her wound had started to open and weep, her chest wound from her open heart surgery, so she was put on antibiotics again. This led to her being sick quite a lot, and it was really hard to watch her suffer when we were meant to be sort of calming down again. The 3rd of June, she went back down for another cardiac catheter. These are really hard. Even though the procedures aren't as big as open heart surgery, you are still holding your baby in the anaesthetist's office, having them administer medication to put her to sleep, and then your baby just goes floppy, and it's like they're not there anymore, and it is an awful feeling to just feel that weight suddenly go and their arms are drooping off to the side. And I've done that 11 times now, so it never gets any easier, unfortunately. I've just got better at coping with it. It's still really hard to watch, but I don't externalise it quite as much anymore. Sadly, just 3 days after my daughter had her cardiac catheter, I had to head home. See, unfortunately, I did have her when I was 16 years old, and she was born in March, so it wasn't the end of the school year yet, which meant that I had to leave her in hospital and travel to an hour away to take my exams, because I had to take them. I couldn't not get my GCSEs. It's hard to make the decision to go back home, but I knew in the long run it was what was best. But for me, it was so extremely hard, because I knew that she was still struggling and I couldn't be with her, and it broke my heart to not be with her. But I had to do it, I had to. And one of the hardest parts was that when it actually came to me sitting the exam, because I had to go back to just like revise with the class first, my teacher thankfully came out to the home, so I wasn't actually in class, but I had my class teacher with me. The hardest part was that during my exams, I was trying so hard to focus, so hard to do well, and all I could think was, if she dies now, I'm not going to get a chance to say goodbye. I am so far away from her. I didn't do as well as I was predicted to, because honestly, the whole time I was just like, what am I going to do if she